So this is my favourite project, I think, and it kind of happened a little bit by accident. It was playing around and seeing what happened if I did this and what happened if I do that. And it's lovely to do that, you know, just set yourself aside some time, switch your head off from everything else that's going on in life and just try things, you know. So this is the project. Now, what I want to teach you out of this is creating this bit here. The reason that I've put this in is to cover up the backs of the flowers, because otherwise it looks a little bit messy. But the actual basket itself is made with 2 of these pieces. So you can see we've taken part of the shape out to leave this opening. So the front of the basket looks like this, but we've also got our matte layers there as well. So when I turn this over, I've got one here and one at the back. I've then used some construction weight acetate and I've created like a little bridge that links the 2 together. And then I've just cut some craft card to cover the sides. And then just like you would do, you know, your little pop-up boxes with the little bands that go off and you stick everything onto the bands. That's what I've done with this. It's got like 3 layers of bands inside so I could fill the center with the flowers. But I wanted to show you this bit because this bit is really cool. So I'm just going to pop that back there. Right, so Canvas Workspace. And I've already brought in pattern number 9. And I'm going to drag a box around there first of all, go to edit and divide it first of all. So we're going to move that image out of the way and we're going to group all of this together. So we're going to go to edit and group. Now we're going to select a card shape. So I'm going to move that out of the way and we're going to go SVG, choose file, into here. I want my card shapes and I want number 3 from 8x8. It doesn't matter which you use. And then I'm going to press OK. I'm going to take that one, get rid of those. Right, so I'm going to resize this shape now. Now I'm going to do this in the properties here. And when you bring this up, to maintain the aspect ratio, to make it bigger or smaller in the correct ratio so you don't distort it, you would do it with this ticked, okay? But I want to change the shape of it. So I'm going to untick maintain aspect ratio. And then in the first box, I'm going to type in 134. And in this box, I'm going to type in 170. And then it does nothing until I close it. Oh, it has done it actually. That's my bad. It has done it. Right, so then what I'm going to do is bring my pattern back in. So I'm going to move my shape, bring my pattern back in. And what I'm going to do is put this in here. Now, wherever you position this, whatever part of this pattern is overlapping here is what it's going to remove, okay? So I'm going to do it into the middle like this. So I'm looking at this line here now, that goes down the middle of there. I'm trying to make sure I've got it pretty central. Then I'm going to drag a box around both of those and go to edit. And this time I'm just going to align it horizontally. So it's in the middle of that pattern, okay? Then I'm going to go to edit and remove overlapped. So it takes away anything that the shape was overlapping from the pattern, like that. Then I'm going to group this. So go to edit and group it. And I'm also going to duplicate it. And I'm going to duplicate it a couple of times, just in case I need it again. And I'd rather you did that because it's a click of a button to get rid of it than not do it. Right, so the first thing I want to do is create another layer of this. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to create a 1mm. So 1mm inward offset line and delete the original. So I've now got this. This is what we did earlier on, as remember when we did the layering ones for stencils. So I'm going to go to edit and group that together. And then I'm going to bring in and move that out of the way. Come on. There we go. I'm going to bring in one of these and I'm going to create a matte layer, not just for this to sit on, but for this to sit on as well. So from the original pattern, I'm going to create a 3mm outward offset line. Now, sometimes I'm going to show you what can sometimes happen, because I can't give you an exact offset line, size of offset line that you need to create. Because if I do it at 5mm, watch what happens. That happens. If I do, let me just select all that. If I do a 5mm outward offset rather than an inward offset, it comes up with a message when I try to weld it. Part of the line overlaps other lines. So it doesn't naturally do it. So if I go back, I then tried 4mm, that didn't work. Tried 6mm, that didn't work either. So then I thought, right, we'll just try 3mm. And it's all about where those paths intersect and how canvas sees it. So just keep playing around until you find something that works. So 3mm outward offset line and delete the original. So now I'm going to drag up boxes, select all that, go to edit and weld. And it really is trial and error with some of this. A different shape with a different pattern, you'll need to work out again. It's just the way it is. And you know what? It's fine, because it's just a little bit of work, that's all. So what I'm going to do now, you've got options now. I'm going to show you what it looks like behind here. So if I pop that behind there, that is now creating another layer for you, like that. So you've got that, so you'll still have cutouts of that. So let me do that properly, make sure that that works properly. Essentially, line horizontally. Yeah, so you've got 2 layers for that now, really, haven't you? So you've got that layer, you've got that layer, and you've got your original layer, like that. So I now know I don't need that, so I can put that in the bin. I now know I don't need that because I finished with that as well. And now I've got my 3 layers. But what I also want is an outside layer to mat all of them onto. So if I send this into, because it won't let me ungroup it, you see, at the moment. So if I download it, and when you download, you need to make sure they're all within that red dash line parameter. So I'm going to download it. It tells me that some of the elements are going to be automatically removed, and that's because they're very, very small. So if you've got something that's too small, it will remove it. So I'm going to press OK, and I'm going to transfer it to my machine. Wake my machine up because it's gone to sleep. And I'm going to get rid of what we had before. And then we're going to retrieve from the cloud. Wait for it to find it. And I'm going to save it back into the cloud. And press OK. Right, back to canvas. So my projects, and here is the file that I've just sent back. So click on that. We're going to just select the one that with the outside one, the one that we welded together. And now we're going to go to edit and we're going to ungroup it. Okay, so I'm going to move this one out of the way and that one out of the way so that you can see what I'm doing. Should have done that in the first place. That was a bit rude. There we go. Right, now then, we're going to just duplicate the outside edge. So if we go to edit and duplicate, that gives me my solid matte layer that is then going to sit behind all of these 3. So I'm going to drag the box around that, go to edit and group that now. So as you're looking at the front of your flower basket, that's going to be your first layer. That layer is going to be your second layer. That's going to be your third layer. This is going from the front back. And then this is going to be a back layer, which will be a solid one. So just to show you what that looks like, what we need to do now is put, so that one's my third layer. What I need to do before I align everything is put an outside edge around these two, because these two right now will cut into your cardstock with no outside edge. So that one's fine because it cuts out. This is my solid layer, so I need to duplicate this. So I have 3 of these, one for that layer and one for that layer. So let's work through this logically. That's done and that's done. So we're going to grab, oh, mouse, used to working with a touchpad. Right, Melanie, come on, breathe, love, breathe. Right, that goes with that one, and that one is going to go with this one. Right, so let's align these, edit and align centrally vertically, edit and align centrally horizontally, edit and either group or divide. So I'm just going to group it for now. So that's my other layer. Then I'm going to bring this one in and this one in and select both of those. Go to edit and align that centrally vertically, centrally horizontally. Go to edit and group that. So now I can go to select all, go to edit and align, and edit and align horizontally. And then when I move this onto here, and I'm going to zoom right in for you so that you can see it. Can you see I've got all my layers? So I've got my solid layer, then I've got the one that has these little teeny tiny pieces from when we welded. Then I've got my 1mm inward offset line, and then I've got my original. And that is what creates the front and the back of your flower basket. So all of those different things you can do from that one USB. From 30 patterns, 30 shapes, and then you decorate it with your beautiful decoupage, or you decorate it with whatever you want to decorate it with. That for me makes that USB incredible value for money. Like the boxes one that was really good value for money. But now you can use the patterns from this one on your boxes and the patterns from your boxes on this one. So again, great value for money. So I think as a creative person and as a scan and cut user, the best value product we can bring you is the digital Craftorium, because we don't just bring you the files, we teach you all the extra things that you can do with them. I really hope you've enjoyed all of that education. And even if you just pick and choose the bits that you like, and maybe you come up with something completely new. And if you do, please share it with us, because that's amazing. And please feel free to join us on that free class. Just register at Highlight Crafts, doesn't cost you anything, and we'll email you out with the information of when they are. It's been a pleasure, as ever, and I will see you all very soon. Take care, lots of love, bye. If you want to see more from Highlight Crafts, make sure you click the like button. Subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below, and click the bell icon to receive notifications of all our future content. You can also click here to see our latest video, or click here to see more videos like this one.